Robert H. Gardner, 146-200926.
So what parts of the Pacific did you actually go in though once you got past San Diego?
I went from Norfolk, Virginia, a place called Little Creek to Norfolk, which was the head of the area, to Key West, to the Panama Canal, to San Diego. And then I went to where in Hawaii? It's a secret. Yeah.
Pearl Harbor?
Yeah, Pearl Harbor. And from there, I had a sea bag with all the different places, a lot of islands, on a Waitak and on and on and on. I was in Manila, and we went around the tour to different places where we put up quote, and my kind of ship, frequently we beached, as opposed to pulling into a dock. If there was a beach, all we did was set out an anchor as we were going into the beach and ran right up on the beach. And the anchor helped us when we wanted to reverse that, usually with the tide helping, higher tide. And you could get your motors going and pull against the anchor. Sometimes you got, you're in the mud and gunk, and you need that help. But I was a radar man, and I was a radar man third class. And I had a first class petty officer, the head of the radar, Tommy Chapa, a Mexicano of descent. Tom Chapa. He was the head man. There were only two of us, Tommy and me. I was the third class radar. That's all right. I never was going to get rid of him and beat him out. He'd been in the Navy, I think, 2.5 years or something before I even enlisted. So he had a lot of pull in his position. But I got the shitty jobs when our radar broke one time. We had electrical problems. Where they put me, and this is a flat-bottom ship, no hull, no deep hull piercing the water. And boy, we were like a cork out there. They sent me, when that was done, the lower ranking man, up to the very front of the ship, climb up, and I was given walkie-talkie, talking back to what I could see. Electronics weren't the best in early World War II. Yeah. It's a fact of life. I remember doing that for 3 or 4 weeks. I used to have a sea bag with all these places I'd been. Pearl Harbor, on and on and on. Whatever the next place was, I stopped. Our ship pulled in. But anyway, I went to a lot of islands. I can remember some of them, Kwajalein, Anahuatok, big names you probably never heard of, but they're out there in the Pacific Ocean, approaching Philippine Islands or Okinawa. I was in all those places I just said. And ultimately Japan, and ultimately Hiroshima. I saw it still smoking. That was a sickening sight. God. You just realize, you look for miles and places smoldering. Just leveled. God, no wonder they gave up so quickly. We threw a couple atomic bombs at them, and they surrendered. They realized we have something that they couldn't handle at all. They couldn't. I want more of this. No. That was damn lucky. I probably wouldn't be here except for the atomic bomb.
Was your ship ever part of the original plan to invade Japan? before they dropped the atomic bomb?
Excuse my lack of language here. And I don't mean bad language, but proper military language. We were scheduled to go invade Japan, and the war is over, so we still had certain places we were going to go, certain cities and areas. And one I remember we went to Kobe, Japan. You can look that up on the map.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've heard of Kobe.
We got almost blown up.
How?
We're riding into, going to beach ourselves, and all of a sudden, well, back up a moment. A lot of the fellows are preparing here. We're going to beach, so people had certain duties. I ran the ship on whoever was up above in the conning tower giving orders. All ahead full, all ahead 1/3, reverse engines, whatever. I did all those instrument control. That was my job. So we're going to do this, and suddenly we hit. The ship is up in the air at a tremendous explosion. The whole ship is full of mud. I mean, caked with it. We hit one of our bombs that our Air Force dropped, and it went down. The theory is it got stuck in the mud, but it was the kind that the sound of an engine gives it a release from the bottom. It propels it upward. And of course, what it hit, the thing made. And this thing didn't hit us, but it came very, very close. It never damaged our ship, but it put about 2 inches of mud on the whole ship. I mean, it was up in the air, and two of our fellows were all thinking, there's no problem. And they were all hanging around the outside, hanging on the railing, so to speak. A couple of them were in the water, and I went in and I didn't have to, but I did. Diving in to save a fellow sailor. You see him out there struggling, going under. Just jump in. Help whatever you can do. I pulled this one guy in, and he was fine. But I couldn't see any more, but a couple other fellows dove in, and wherever they could. Like, I had a duty. That was my duty, in my sense. Hey, that's my fellow man. Well, of course I'm going to try to save him. I could see him go under and come up again. Nothing.
Did the right thing.
And we weren't at war then, so it wasn't like I'm hurting the ship by not performing certain duties. I went in and got this one guy, and I was lucky. I dove it down in the muck, and where I last saw his head 10, 15 feet away, and got him, got him back on the ship. He was fine. But he probably would have drowned. Never got anything for that. Never. I didn't want it. But I remember that.
We're in 2013, May 26th.
Yep.
And your name?
Robert H. Gardner, 146-200926.